Your window rolled down to provide easy access in case your vehicle does fall through the ice. Secondly, is to unbuckle your seatbelt. The weather plays a big factor in how much snow stays. Typically, you want the temperature around the teens. That way, the snow that Powder Ridge makes stays on the slopes. Gilman Co-op Creamery was founded in 1923 by 3 local farmers who wanted to outsource their product. In 2017, they did just that. At Tri-County Humane Society, the dog kennel is now open to the public since October 9th, which was a Sunday. Coming up next, find out what spooky event is happening in the Granite City. UTVS News, we'll be right back. Coming up after the break, find out which teams are on the road and which teams are staying home this weekend. I'm Jimmy Ducharme. Sports is next.
First I thought it was a snowplow hitting something. It was that loud.
Just after 6 p.m. Tuesday night, the quiet town of Foley, Minnesota quickly became a nightmare.
Vehicles were stopping from both directions and people were getting out, checking it out. I heard them yelling, "Call the police," and I yelled back and said, "I've called them."
A fatal car accident happened last night on Highway 23, taking a life.
She was the person that walked into a room and she lit up everybody, everything. Her and her kids were very happy, optimistic, always positive on life.
Lindsay Cardinal was a wife and a mother of 3 young kids. Lillian, who is 5, Wyatt, who is 4, and Evelyn, who is just a year old, all whom had non-life-threatening injuries.
We're going to stick together strong for the kids. Being Evelyn is so young, and Lily and Wyatt, she was a stay-at-home mom with them. So they had a lot of time with her, and it's just going to be really, really hard. But I think all of us, the family, appreciate everything everybody's doing, and all the kind words. She's going to be missed. She was very, very happy.
Less than a week from the passing of 35-year-old Lindsay Cardinal, who was a wife and a mother of 3 young kids, there was another head-on collision that took another life, less than a mile away.
When I first came out of my shop, which is a quarter mile down the road, we turned, we saw brake lights. I thought, now what,
A Buick driven by 70-year-old Rocky Rowland was traveling eastbound toward Malacca when his car crossed the center line, striking a Kia Sorento driven by 62-year-old Terry Vetters.
As we creeped up on it, it was kind of like, whoa, these cars look like they're welded together almost. I mean, it's another head-on collision.
As Tom drove closer to the wreck, they could see the effects of what happened.
I had another fellow with me. He said, that guy doesn't look good in the van, and so I assume he was the one that passed, but he was just like limp laying there on the airbag.
Driving during the winter has its challenges already with icy roads and changing weather conditions. To prevent any accident, take your time going to and from places. And also,
wear your seatbelt, and you have to drive defensively. Else keep the other people in mind that are around you,
To some, basketball is just a game, but to others it's a way of life, and for a select few, it runs in the family.
My uncle, his name Glenn Robinson, he got me involved with it. I was watching him play and stuff like that, so just watching him, because he played in the NBA, so watching him play, and then my dad and my uncles just being around, making me watch it, and just my dad working at a gym often, so I just go with him to work and just shoot around and stuff like that.
My dad, I started off at a young age. He used to bring me to the gym every day, so I grew up around basketball. He used to bring me to the gym, and I was in the carriage right there, so even though I couldn't pick up a ball, I was around it.
I would say my uncle got me involved in basketball. He was a coach for a basketball team, and he got me going around like 2nd grade. He asked me if I wanted to come play for him. I had always been like just playing, but he's the one who really got me involved with it.
Honestly, I just love the game. I come from a family, I got 6 siblings, and my older sisters and older brothers all play the game, so just watching them grow into the game, so I just followed along. I wouldn't be where I am today without basketball, but also the passing of my mother when I was 17 years old. So I wanted to do something different than everybody else, and then I think basketball is a pathway just to get out there and be a mentor for the young children back in Chicago.
Something as simple as a game turned 4 strangers into a family.
Well, I coached Mark. Mark was actually my first player that I ever coached. Coaching with the Team NLP back in early 2010, when he was going into his senior year. And then I actually known Kurt and Gage when they were in middle school, junior high. So I've known those guys for a while. Coaching Mark, obviously being my first team, was a great experience. I remember those AU trips down to Milwaukee, down to Orlando, to Kentucky.
Oh, it was fun playing with Mo. There was a lot of times where Mo would get mad at us and we'd just laugh at him, joke around. It was just mainly like a laughing experience with Mo, because Mo just was funny for no reason.
I like playing with him. He likes to get out and run more. He's big on defense. He is very energetic, and so playing with him there definitely helps me play with him. Playing with him at AAU definitely helps me play with him in college, since I played with him before.
It was fun. I was on his first team coaching for NLP, so we had a quick bond early on, and he made it really fun for me.
With a strong bond between players and coaches, this year's Huskies basketball team will try to build on what many think will be a successful season.
Obviously, with having the freshman of the year, Gage Davis, having a first-team all-conference player, and then having another all-conference kid, Scotty Stone, and then with a couple transfers, Alex O'Neal, from Creighton, and then having Mark Hall, coming back for another year. A lot of these guys, this is the first time that they'll be at the same program at the collegiate level for consecutive years.
I'm excited about it. We should know what we're capable of, come back stronger. We know how to defend now, so hopefully this year will go a lot more smoother than before.
We were returning everybody who played last year, all our starters and people who played meaningful minutes. So other than that, I'm really confident about this year.
Having fun winning. That's all it is, having fun and just playing together and just making it to the championship.